our Super Bowl. American people, English speakers paying big money, and we get Bad Bunny? I'm telling you, this is outrageous. I demand refunds. Management, now.
Any message to the organizer?
So, since the NFL announced that Bad Bunny would be the headliner of this year's Super Bowl, right-wing conservatives have lost their little minds. I mean, just flying over the edge. I'm not gonna lie to you, I didn't know much about Bad Bunny. I knew of him, I heard of him, but I've never heard his music. I didn't know, though, that he was from Puerto Rico. And MAGA's like, he's speaking Spanish. I don't understand the music. I need an English artist. Why can't we have some country people? Puerto Rico is an American territory. Puerto Ricans are Americans. How do they not know that?
Good morning. This is a message for the NFL. If you're not the NFL, keep on scrolling.
I'm the
Roger.
NFL.
So, I put up with a lot from the NFL. I put up with the whole kneeling. You lost me there for a little bit. You lost me on the whole BLM thing with everyone knelt for, Floyd
there
in the
we
back
go
of the
again.
infield, all that stuff. You lost me. 5 teams have lost me. I haven't watched one Detroit Lions game all year.
Really?
With not honoring Charlie Kirk. Can we not just get some good halftime show? I mean, Kenny Chesney sells out Gillette Stadium.
Kenny
In
Chesney.
Why? I mean, the biggest concert ever just happened in Michigan, Riley, whatever, for country at the University of Michigan over the weekend. Can we not just get a country halftime show? Bad Bunny?
No.
I mean, it's
Yes,
not that I don't
Bad
like
Bunny.
Rihanna, but she wore like this puffy thing. Like I was afraid the whole time she was going to fall. I mean, I had more anxiety over her falling off the stage. Can we just not get a country person, please? Do we have to go so political?
No.
To where we can't even get a good halftime show?
Every single thing in this country is political. Every single thing in this world is political. Anything you can think of, anything, has some kind of politics underlying. Nobody wants a fucking Kenny Chesney concert. You know what the ratings are gonna be for that Super Bowl? Way less than Bad Bunny. I saw his Spotify. He has like 40 million listeners a month. It's not my cup of music. It's not my style of music, but hey, I get it. I know why the NFL wants to bring in more Spanish people. The NFL is expanding internationally, ma'am. They want to bring in other people to watch their shit. It's called business. It's called capitalism. Don't you like capitalism? Roger Goodell is just doing what capitalists do. The thing is, Bad Bunny had an American tour set up, but he canceled it the moment this ICE bullshit started. And not because he thought he was going to have trouble with him, but because his fans were going to have trouble with it. And the moment the NFL announced that he was going to be the headliner, ICE officers decided that they were going to be outside of his Super Bowl the day of. And that's coming from Homeland Security. This is just the beginning for the NFL. They saw what Taylor Swift did. They're about to see what Bad Bunny is about to do, and they're going to continue this pattern. Watch. I don't even know why you're watching the Super Bowl. I thought you don't watch football anymore ever since the Kaepernick. Why are you watching football? These people are the purest form of hypocrites.
I absolutely love that this is triggering MAGA. Now, let me give you the background. Puerto Rican artist Bad Bunny. By the way, Puerto Rico is part of the United States. Puerto Rico, as Donald Trump likes to say. It's part of the United States. Remember when Trump said he was going to speak to the president of Puerto Rico? That's him. He's the president of Puerto Rico in the sense that Puerto Rico is part of the United States. There are MAGAs losing their minds because Bad Bunny not only hosted Saturday Night Live over the weekend, but he is also slated to be the halftime show performer at the Super Bowl this year. And Bad Bunny over the weekend delivered part of his monologue in Spanish, and it was so triggering. I'm going to play it for you. I'll translate the Spanish parts, which I don't believe were translated.
I'm very excited to be doing the Super Bowl, and I know that people all around the world who love my music are also happy, especialmente todos los latinos. Todos los latinos y las latinas en el mundo entero, y aquí en los Estados Unidos, todas.
He says people who love his music, especially all of the Latino and Latina people around the world and in the United States.
Personas que han trabajado para abrir puertas, más que un logro mío.
Including the people who have worked to open doors.
Más que un logro mío, es un logro de todos, demostrando que nuestra huella y nuestra aportación en este país nadie nunca la podrá sacar ni borrar.
Saying that this is not just an accomplishment for him, but it's an accomplishment for the entire Latino community. and that his and the presence of other Latinos in the United States is not something that can be ignored.
Right. And if you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn. We have a great show.
I just love this. I just love it. And immediately this just triggered so many of these MAGAs. This guy, Carl Higbie, a right winger who never said anything worth more than pond scum, tweeted, "I will not be watching the Super Bowl at all," in response to Bad Bunny's Spanish monologue piece. You know, Carl, this is not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. Just see yourself out. Here's Adrienne Curry, who said, "Learn English if you want to appeal to Americans during the biggest American pastime. This is tone deaf AF." These people are going to eat themselves over Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl. I might actually watch the Super Bowl this year. That's how much I am loving this. These people claim to be the ultimate alphas, and they are such pathetic snowflakes.
And if you didn't understand what I just said, you have 4 months to learn.
That was just so good. And it hasn't even been 24 hours yet, and the MAGA fans are already melting down over what he said on SNL. The outrage from MAGA over this has truly been absurd. And as I've said, I wish they were as angry about homelessness, poverty, things like that in the United States as they are about Bad Bunny performing at the Super Bowl.
I guess we're not watching the Super Bowl because Bad Bunny's performing and he's going to do it in Spanish. Then don't watch it. Because you weren't complaining when Puerto Rico sent $4 billion to the United States in federal taxes that go into your Medicare and your Social Security. You weren't complaining when the men and women of Puerto Rico fought in every war and died for this country. You weren't complaining when the Puerto Rican women were sterilized and experimented on so you can have birth control. Puerto Ricans pay 11.5 sales tax and have no representation in Congress. What happened to no taxation without representation? You see, El Conejo Malo is American, and he's performing the Super Bowl for us Americans. Okay? And if you don't like it, arranca pa'l carajo, puñeta. Okay? Because we're all gonna be there. Que viva Puerto Rico, cabrón.
Well, folks, the MAGA influencers have found their new thing to be angry about. And no, it's not their cult leader doing something stupid. It's something entirely pointless. If you haven't seen it yet, Bad Bunny has been announced as the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show. And this has already sent MAGA into a spiral. For example, Benny Johnson said, "This is Bad Bunny. He was announced as the halftime show. He's a massive Trump hater, anti-ICE activist, knows songs in English." Sounds pretty great. He even canceled his entire US tour for the reason effing ICE could be outside my concert, and it's something we were talking about and are very concerned about. The NFL is self-destructing year after year. My point stands. He sounds fantastic. And of course, he's not a boring white guy like Kid Rock, so Republicans just don't like him. It's also been very funny to watch the different MAGA accounts post photos of Bad Bunny like this, implying that he's not a real man or that he's feminine or whatever. And the same dudes making these arguments are the same guys sitting in their basement right now with Cheeto dust all over their keyboard. They're also the same people who would kill for the opportunity to date people that Bad Bunny has dated in the past. I mean, Kendall Jenner, for example. So in case you're interested in what the MAGA guys are focused on today, it's probably this.
Meanwhile, the MAGAsphere is very fired up about the news that Bad Bunny is doing the Super Bowl halftime show.
So you heard about this guy, Bunny? Is that his name? Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny. It's yet another reason to not watch football. It stinks. Roger Goodell and all those criminals, they can have their money. Boycott it. Read a book. Go to church. I'm serious. NFL, no freaking life. I'll get back to you on the L. Be right back.
How about this, L? This is what my kids would give you. Oh, man, so much outrage. One of Trump's top henchweasels, Homeland Security Advisor Corey Lewandowski, is very angry at the NFL, too. He said it is so shameful that they decided to pick someone who just seems to hate America so much. We said the same thing the day after the election. And then he said there are plenty of great bands and entertainment people out there who could be playing at that show that would be bringing people together, not separating them. Do these people even hear themselves talking? So now, because this Bunny is so very bad, they're planning to have ICE agents present at the Super Bowl. I guess there's a reason. ICE heard there was a field where brown people get tackled, and they're like, hey, that's our job.
MAGA supporters are angry about Bad Bunny performing at the NFL Super Bowl halftime show. Well, this is all because he mostly sings in Spanish and supports immigration and LGBTQ policies. He represents a culture and political values they call woke, in quotes. Many also falsely claim that he's not American, and many also falsely claim that he's not American, ignoring that Puerto Ricans are USA citizens. MAGA supporters are very, very, very furious, and they say they won't watch a show in protest. If he's performing, they aren't watching the show. That's it. Tell me, do you think they just took it too far?
Oh my God. I'm not the only one who just finds it hysterical that MAGA is just crashing the fuck out about Bad Bunny. Now, they're going to say that it's like, oh, he's anti-American because he's anti-ICE. Baby, sorry to tell you, but like 58% of the country is against what's going on in ICE. And that's across that. Those people come from all parties. All right. So actually, that's the majority of the country, which actually makes him being anti-ICE very fucking American. What they mean is, he's not white, but 52% of all Super Bowl performers, 52% have been white, only 48% have been minorities. Pissed off because he's from a Spanish-speaking area, which apparently they think has a different president. I'm just for MAGA because I know like geography is complicated for you guys. So we have 48 contiguous states. That means, you know, they touch, right? Their borders touch. They're like holding hands. And then we have 2 non-contiguous states, Hawaii and Alaska. That means they're not touching the other states, okay? And then we have U.S. territories everywhere. Guam, Puerto Rico, the American Virgin Islands. But guys, I'm sorry to be the one to tell you, okay? But they're no less American than if you were in New York or Mississippi. If anybody invaded Puerto Rico under Article 4 of the Constitution, we would defend them. You know why? Because that's fucking U.S. soil. So why y'all are out here tripping, like literally losing your fucking minds about how Bad Bunny, this, that, and the third. Puerto Rico is part of America. It has been for like 126 years. You guys need to get over it. You need to learn some geography. You need to understand that just because these people aren't driving a big ass truck and wearing a red hat to symbolize the fact they can't think for themselves doesn't mean that they're not American. It just means that you want everything to be your version of America. Well, guess what? Sorry, fuckers. But it's actually very American that you have a performer, okay, who doesn't agree with what's going on in the White House, who doesn't agree with ICE, and who does agree with the majority of the American public. That's what America is about. Diversity. It's not about everybody conforming and rubber stamping and turning into little maggots like the rest of you. You guys actually need to get a fucking grip.
Latinos for Trump pay a lot of attention to how the people that voted like you voted are treating this situation with Bad Bunny doing the halftime show at the Super Bowl. See how they treat us, how they speak about us, how they see us as any other undocumented immigrant or illegal, as they call it, in the United States. How they don't see you different than the people that they don't want here. They will take your vote gladly. They'll take it. But once they have that vote, you are useless to them. They want your culture, your food, your stuff on their terms, but not on their spaces. It's quite different. They don't want to share those third spaces with you. See how crafty this situation is? So be awake, because these are the people that you want to hang out with, right? You turn your backs on Latinos that didn't support Trump, right? And right after you turn your backs on us, then you go out and hang out with people who don't want you, who don't want Benito to do the concert, because they're saying that he's not American, that he doesn't speak English. So this is how these people view you. They view you as trash, but yet you want to support them and you want to hang out with them. Look how much of a fucking idiot you're looking right now. You look like a goddamn fool right now. Because these are the people that you're supporting. The people that don't want you here. That's it. Good thing I'm in there.
I'm just curious, which Super Bowl halftime show are you going to be watching? And if you're like, girl, what are you talking about? You know, the Bad Bunny was announced and he's doing the Super Bowl halftime show for the football game, at the football game, right? Well, then Turning Point USA has announced that they're also going to put on a Super Bowl halftime show. So I'm just over here curious. That's it, okay? I just want to know which one you're watching. And don't you come at me in my comment section trying to tell me how I am or what I feel, because it ain't like that. I don't care one way or another who does the Super Bowl halftime show, to be quite honest. I'm usually asleep before the Super Bowl even comes on. I'm not gonna lie, okay? I'm old. So it does not affect me one way or another of who's playing who's playing in the Super Bowl. One, I don't care. Two, who's doing the Super Bowl halftime show or which one. Again, it doesn't affect me one way or another. I just want to take a little poll, a little vote, find out where everybody's standing at. So which one are you going to watch? Are you going to watch the Bad Bunny or are you going to watch the Turning Point USA? Because I'm nosy. Let's be honest. That's why. I just want to know.
Yo, the right's freak out about Bad Bunny is hysterical. I'm gonna hold your little hand when I say this. Not everything needs to be for you. The Super Bowl is a business. They're trying to expand the tent. I know you don't care about that. I know you don't care about the sort of people that they're trying to extend the tent to, but they are people. I know the they are people part is complicated for them. Greg Price said the NFL chose Bad Bunny to perform despite the fact that he recently said he wouldn't perform in the continental U.S. because ICE is deporting illegal aliens. This is a cute bit of gaslighting, Greg, or like saying part of the truth. What he's saying, Bad Bunny, is that he doesn't want to put his fans at risk because ICE might come and... It's not that hard. Benny Johnson, who's always wrong, said, hey, he's a massive Trump hater. I don't think that being a Trump lover is necessary for performing at the Super Bowl or anywhere. He's an anti-ICE activist. He is not. No songs in English. So what? Everything doesn't have to be for you. There are millions of people who love Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny is the third biggest artist in the world on Spotify. The fear-mongering from the right is crazy. Are NFL owners in on this idiocy, or are they just culturally that disconnected from reality and how Roger Goodell uses the NFL to push left-wing social issues? We're talking about the NFL, which has military planes flying over games before they start. The NFL, which kicked out Colin Kaepernick. All these supposedly idiotic NFL owners, they're all Trumpy. They're all MAGA. They're all right-wing. Is it that hard to pick a unifying music act who doesn't want to peddle woke propaganda? Who would be a unifying musical act right now? Not Kendrick Lamar, not Taylor Swift. You would freak out if it was The Weeknd. You hate Beyonce. You surely would hate Jay-Z. Who would be a unifying act right now? But the NFL isn't looking for unifying. They're looking for somebody who will bring fans in. Bad Bunny will make people who don't care about the game want to watch the halftime show, and exactly 0 people will say, I'm not watching the Super Bowl because it's Bad Bunny. So what the fuck are you talking about?
Folks, MAGAs are losing their damn minds again. This time because the Super Bowl halftime performer is Bad Bunny. Yeah, the Puerto Rican global superstar who sells out stadiums faster than Trump sells pardons. The guy who actually pays his taxes. The horror. Apparently, the problem is that he sings in Spanish, which, if you ask MAGA, is a woke language. You know, the language spoken by 43 million Americans, and roughly everyone who built Florida. They're furious that the Super Bowl, the most sacred ceremony in the Church of America, might feature lyrics they can't understand. How will they know if Bad Bunny is making fun of them? He could be calling them snazzies. Mwah. MAGAs think Bad Bunny's not American enough, because Puerto Rico's just that random island the U.S. has owned since 1898. Totally unrelated, definitely foreign. They say he's too political, which is MAGA for he disagrees with us, so he's a meanie pants. They hate that he paints his nails and wears skirts. All the things that make men who never got to experiment jealous. I mean, that make real men uncomfortable because that stuff's gay. Brah! Honestly, it's kind of beautiful watching the folks who worship Kid Rock's beer gut as a patriotic symbol become apoplectic over a 13-minute performance. Hell, it gives them extra time to scarf down another plate of nachos. So turn that frown upside down, MAGA. Maybe next year you can get Kanye to do the show. He can act like a narcissistic, bigoted dinkus, parade his perpetually dazed and half-naked wife up and down the field, and say things that give people permission to be racist. How much more American could that be? Well, MAGA, I hope you're having the day you deserve.
Then what's next? If I learn the Spanish, what's next? If I learn the Spanish, what happens then? Because if I learn the Spanish, then when people are speaking Spanish, I'll know what they're saying, and there's no way they're saying anything nice about me. But no, people losing their minds. I can't believe it. Spanish? He's gonna speak Spanish? I'm gonna have to sit there and listen to somebody sing and rap in Spanish? I already had to listen to rap. You know what that was like for me? You know what that was like for me to hear rap in between the game I bet on? I'm gonna have to sit there and listen to somebody Spanish. I'm gonna have to sit there listening, watching the Super Bowl halftime show to Spanish. I'm gonna have to sit there with my guacamole and my chips in my lap, listening to Spanish. I am gonna have to sit there while I eat the tacos that I Uber Eats to my place, listening to Spanish. The idea that I could have a deluxe crunch wrap and have to listen to Spanish is crazy. Not in my America. Spanish? Are you serious? I can't believe I'm gonna have to listen. I want all the Spanish in my mouth. I don't want it in my ear. Which has like pretty much been the approach of a large portion of the U.S. for a long time. So much of the culture, so much of what people like about a culture that they're willing to take in, they try to do as best as possible to the exclusion of the people that the culture is actually from, right? So you'll see how people of Latin descent have been treated in this country the entire time, while we fall in love with more and more and more and more of their stuff. You know what I mean? And it's something that obviously happens to black people. It's something that's happened to Asian Americans and everything, but it's something that doesn't always get addressed, is that if you loved what we make, then just love us. We made it. You know what I mean? Like, it's a crazy thing. It's a crazy thing to love almost every aspect of a culture and then meet the person who created that culture and be like, I don't know if I trust you though. I just kind of want all your stuff at my house. It's like, oh, I love that thing that you do. I'd probably just take it. What if I took it and then pretend it was mine? Wouldn't that be dope? What if I take it so hard that one day I tell you about it? No, I tell you about it and then I tell you you're doing it wrong because it's actually... No, what if you have your entire culture with a different understanding of everything, a different understanding of the world because it's from a different.
MAGA influencers have found their new thing to be angry about, and no, it's not their cult leader doing something stupid, it's something entirely pointless. If you haven't seen it yet, Bad Bunny has been announced as the 2026 Super Bowl halftime show, and this has already sent MAGA into a spiral. For example, Benny Johnson said, "This is Bad Bunny. He was announced as the halftime show. He's a massive Trump hater, anti-ICE activist, knows songs in English." Sounds pretty great. He even canceled his entire US tour for the reason effing ICE could be outside my concert, and it's something we were talking about and are very concerned about. The NFL is self-destructing year after year. My point stands. He sounds fantastic. And of course, he's not a boring white guy like Kid Rock, so Republicans just don't like him. It's also been very funny to watch the different MAGA accounts post photos of Bad Bunny like this, implying that he's not a real man or that he's feminine or whatever. And the same dudes making these arguments are the same guys sitting in their basement right now with Cheeto dust all over their keyboard. They're also the same people who would kill for the opportunity to date people that Bad Bunny has dated in the past. I mean, Kendall Jenner, for example. So in case you're interested in what the MAGA guys are focused on today, it's probably this. So it's the middle of the night and Donald Trump just posted this incredibly strange AI video of him and JD Vance in a band, and the author.
So this might be a long post, but hold on with me. I made a post yesterday about the Super Bowl and the halftime entertainment and how Turning Point USA is giving a alternative show during that time. And I just wanted to share my heart behind what that was, because I feel like there was a lot of misunderstanding. I am a Christian. I love the Lord with all my heart. I love everybody. And my intent behind that had nothing to do with, honestly, my own personal beliefs or anything. It was more so that I love all types of music, but there are some music that is just not my cup of tea. And I was just excited that there possibly was another option that they were offering that we could watch during the Super Bowl. I just wanted, first of all, to apologize if anybody misunderstood that, because my heart behind that had nothing to do with religion, politics, race, discrimination, anything like that. My prayer is that we all can have different opinions, but we all can show love. There was a lot of hate in that post. I would never expect everybody to have the same opinion or always have to be on the same page. But my heart is that we all can agree to disagree, but not show the hate that I saw within the last 24 hours. So be blessed and have a good day.
Thank you for watching Great Minds Blacks.